joining the live stream or for watching the recording. Today is the second episode of the most common questions Americans have about moving to the Czech Republic. And the topic today, or the question today, is if Americans can get Czech citizenship. Let's get into it right away. The simple answer is yes. Czech Republic offers dual citizenship, so you can keep your US one as long as the US still allow that. You can keep your US citizenship and you can also get a Czech one. Czech one also is still possible to get. You cannot get a Czech citizenship if you're Russian, because that Czech government approved that kind of change in the law a year ago or so. Nothing like that for Americans so far. Maybe that will change. We'll see about the politics. But unless something like that happens, then you can get Czech citizenship and you can potentially keep both Czech and US citizenship. The more complicated question though is how to get it. There are generally two options. There might be a bit more, but those would be very rare cases. So I will not go deeper into that. But the two main questions would be one through ancestry and one after long enough living in the Czech Republic. Because as far as I know, there is a pretty big community of Czechoslovaks in the US, especially in parts of Texas, even with Czech towns and Czech kolaches, like the pastry and all that. So potentially you can get a citizenship based on your ancestry, but this only goes to the second generation, so to your grandparents, not to your great-grandparents or longer back. But if your parents or grandparents were or are Czech or Czechoslovak citizens, then you can potentially get Czech citizenship as well. We don't deal with that much because it's kind of a specific process for that, but we can definitely recommend a partner who is definitely able to help with that. What we help with usually is getting citizenship after living long enough in the Czech Republic. What it means long enough, you generally start with some type of long-term visa or long-term residence permit, then you renew it, then after some time you get a permanent residency, which is usually the holy grail for most people, because that basically means that you will never get kicked out of the Czech Republic and you have very close to the same rights as Czech citizens. You can vote in some elections, you have access to healthcare and free access to the Czech labor market, all that. So usually people end up there or end there. But if you don't want to end there, you can also, after the permanent residency, you can apply for a citizenship. Generally speaking, you can apply for Czech citizenship after living here for at least 5 years, while at the same time holding permanent residency. So you cannot be living here for 10 years. Did I say 5 or 10? So after 10 years, but you must also have the permanent residency. You cannot have just the employee card, renew it 5 times, so you reach 10 years and then you apply for citizenship. That's not possible. You first need to get the permanent. But if you have a permanent residency, you've been living here for 10 years, you can apply for Czech citizenship. The other way is after 5 years of having the permanent residency. In most cases, these two things are aligned because generally speaking, you can get permanent residency after 5 years. And then after 5 years, you can apply for citizenship. So that's 10 years in total. But in some cases, this can be faster. For example, if you move here as a family member of an EU citizen or Czech citizen in this case, and close family member, translated into simple words, if you're married to a Czech citizen, then you can potentially apply for a permanent residency after 2 years of living here, not after 5 years. And that means that you can also apply for Czech citizenship after 7 years. So 2 years to permanent and then 5 years of permanent residency instead of 10 years. I've done another video where I go deeper into the topic of getting citizenship because there is a lot of documents you need to collect and some of them are not exactly specified because you, for example, need to prove that you've been integrated enough into the Czech society, but there is no specification of it. So it's kind of up to you how you prove that you've been integrated and if you have been integrated. And then there is also up to the decision maker to decide if what you think is integration is really integration from their perspective as well. Go check out this video if you're interested in more information about that, or get in touch and we'll be happy to sit down with you and like discuss your situation and see if you qualify, and potentially we can discuss further. That's it. Thank you guys for watching. Let me see if there are any questions. Oasim Yahumi, hi. Hi Oasim. Thank you for joining. Nikolaus, weird random numbers, letters. And Rohit Yangra, hello sir. Hello Rohit. Guys, as you know, I no longer do the open live Q&As here. I still do them, and I will be actually doing one right now, but they're only available for paying members of the channel. So if you want to ask questions other than obtaining Czech citizenship, then join, and then I will be doing a live stream right there, and I will be answering your questions right there in 2 minutes or something. Let's see. A writes a question as well. Hi, Jan, thank you for a live stream. No questions at the moment, but it's always nice to see you. Thank you very much for being here as well. Hopefully this topic was also interesting, and I will guys see you either in 1 minute at the live Q&As in the members area, or I will see you again Thursday, Monday, until the end of the world. Goodbye, guys.